Path of Exile 1. Keepers of the Flame. Jonathan, tell us what's up, man.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games,
Yes.
and welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile, Keepers of the Flame, which is coming out 1 week from now on October the 31st. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim your Hive-born crawler pet by following the instructions below. Without further ado, let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile, Keepers of the Flame.
Spider pet, you know? Alright, let's see the trailer. Let's see what's up.
We, the Keepers of the Flame, serve the will of the Dreamer. His instructions whispered from beyond the wall
Dreamer.
of sleep. But now, the Hiveborn are here, on Rayclast, and they seek to poison our world.
Breach, yeah? A bigger breach. Whoa, check out that thing. What is that?
We must close their breaches, destroy their hives, slay their breach lords.
Slay them all. Damn, that guy's massive though. Wave 3 out of 8. Ooh, Cyclone, how much I miss it. Yo, Path of Exile 1 is looking damn good. I miss Cyclone so much. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the stuff.
And by his gifts, the Dreamer provides.
Another skill tree, looks amazing.
They brought this war to our world, but we shall end it, whatever it takes.
I like the new progress bar, that's pretty cool. Genesis tree, that's the skill tree, yeah. Of course. What is that? Ooh, the guy from Delirium. Yeah, the trade system. Okay, they're gonna bring it to Path of Exile 1. This looks insanely good, man. Taking some notes here. This looks good. This looks insanely good for Path of Exile 1. This
As you can
amazing.
see, this expansion is a true sequel to the Breach League, first introduced to the game in 2016.
That's when I started
We felt
playing.
like it was time to progress the story of
was my
Breach,
first
bringing
league.
with it a slew of new updates to the base game. In today's stream, we'll take you on a deep dive into Path of Exile, Keepers of the Flame, beginning with the league mechanic, covering all the fearsome challenges it presents, and the new twisted ways you'll be able to empower
Are we
your
getting this in
character.
Path of Exile 2 as well?
After that, we'll dive into the new ascendancy options possible with Bloodline classes.
Jesus.
Then we'll cover the much anticipated and
Oh, you
synchronous
also got
trade system
Ultimatum
coming
in
to
there.
Path of
Okay, it's all
Exile
the
1.
leagues. Okay.
Afterwards, move into the new Uber Pinnacle bosses, how to access them, and some new drops worthy of the added difficulty. Finally, we'll cover some notable quality of life improvements before moving on to our supporter packs and challenge rewards. We'll then have a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile's game directors Mark and myself your questions from Twitch chat. And after the live stream, we'll drop the full patch notes at 11 AM New Zealand time or 3 PM Pacific.
Okay.
So let's get started. I'll hand things over to Mark to introduce the new league.
Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile.
Yep.
Breach is a beloved league that has had an iconic
Yeah.
history
I
in
love
PoE.
Breach. I love it.
We intend to honor that legacy with our
One of my
first
favorites.
ever sequel league, Keepers of the Flame.
A sequel
This
league.
develops every aspect of Breach, adding new layers to discover. Richer lore, scarier bosses, and entirely new mechanics.
We're
That
moving
said,
around.
this is still Breach, so you will still be opening breaches and slaying hordes of otherworldly monsters.
Let's go. That's all we
The
want.
Breach Lords have
That's
found
all
the
we
means
asked
to
for.
stabilize the connection between their realm and Rayclast. Now, with their grip tightening, we learn their true goal in our world, conquest.
You like a
The
Nora
threat
that
they
opens
pose
up
has now
walls?
escalated to home soil.
Maybe if you complete the bar, the progress bar?
On the coast in Act 1, you'll encounter Aelith, the founder of the Keepers of the Flame.
Okay.
This is a monastic order sworn to defend Rayclast from the Breach Lords. The exit to the Mudflats has been barricaded by Hiveborn,
Where were they this whole
breach
time,
monsters that are working to claim every inch of Rayclast. Aelith can grant you a small spark of the power of the
Oh,
flame,
see, that's what opens the
allowing you
the
to
walls.
blast away their barricade and
Yeah.
move onwards.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Once you enter the Mudflats, you'll find it infested with breach monsters.
Oh, you can destroy everything.
They appear to be constructing a kind of hive, creating strange shapes and structures that absolutely don't belong. Time to purge them with fire.
Okay, so there are the
Aelith
ways.
needs you to protect her as she empowers the flame to do so.
Right, so you can no longer break the
Hold off
walls,
assault
your
long
aura's
enough,
gone.
and she'll be able to demolish the hive with cleansing flame.
Got you. Did you get it back,
In
the aura?
other
I guess
areas,
not.
the gap between worlds is strained. Here,
Oh, so
you'll
different
find a more
events.
familiar encounter with a
Okay,
new
okay,
twist.
different events.
A
Okay,
massive
okay.
breach hand sunders the space between dimensions, and touching it will open an unstable breach, causing monsters to flood in.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
If you can slaughter them quickly enough, you can stabilize the breach.
So there's an end to it.
This brazen action can draw the attention of Vroon, Marshal of Zesht, who will
There you
do
get the
everything
boss.
it can to stop you. Defeating this boss will permanently seal the breach, severing another connection between the Breach Lord's
looks
world
cool.
and Rayclast. These stabilized breaches are similar to what a breach once was, but with upgraded
Easy.
monsters, a success condition to shoot for, UI tracking to keep the player informed of their progress
head of
through the
Vroon.
encounter, and satisfying feedback when you do manage to complete the encounter.
No loot filter.
We've taken all the lessons we've learned since the release of Breach 9 years ago and improved upon it in every way we can. However, much of the joy of Breach came from its simplicity. While we want
is
to
that skill?
modernize the
Looks
mechanic,
cool.
we don't want to undermine the core experience. You're still mostly just slaughtering hordes of enemies
Yeah.
in a circle.
The UI looks clean, huh?
Finally, in endgame areas you might run into breach constructions that have been left unopposed for too long
Oh.
and have grown into their full twisted glory. Breach hives. Towering flesh-crafted cities in the sky.
Right,
These
kinda
are the
like
visions of the Breach
your
Lords
Abyss,
made real in Rayclast, teeming with
there.
breach monsters. You must raid and destroy these cities with the help of Aelith and her flame.
Yo, Path of Exile 1
In
looks
some of
good,
these hives,
man.
you may even encounter
Ash and
some of the
Toll.
Breach Lords themselves,
Yeah,
who
both
will
of
not
them.
be happy you're intruding on their planned conquest. Now, let's talk loot. Of course, being an exile is hard work, and you're unlikely to help entirely out of the goodness of your heart. Fortunately, Aelith has power and rewards aplenty, born of the Breach Realm itself, to offer you for your assistance.
Like
Help her,
have
and she'll
the
bring you to the
gameplay
monastery
they're
of the
showing.
Keepers,
The player is
the
not
hallowed halls of
interacting with
her
the enemies
order.
at all. You know, it's all
Here,
automatic.
you'll find the Genesis tree, the growing heart of the Keeper's power.
Ew.
On interacting with it, you'll find that this tree has a tree. That's right.
Makes sense.
It couldn't be Path of Exile unless the tree also had a tree.
That's good.
More importantly,
More.
the Genesis tree is an engine of unholy creation,
We need more
and a
trees.
profitable one. As you complete breach encounters and work more with Aelith, you'll be able to grow the
cool.
Genesis tree larger and larger,
That's cool.
sprouting additional limbs. Each of these limbs,
That's
you'll
cool and
notice,
disgusting.
has their own inventories. These can be used for an unusual method of crafting new items.
Go on.
With this system, you'll be able to grow currency, uniques, equipment, and a new kind of otherworldly item, grafts.
that a
Grafts
thing on your
are breach
hand? Yeah.
hands grown directly from the Genesis tree,
Ew.
born of the same flesh and sinew as the invading monsters.
It's on your
These
back.
fuse directly to your body in a completely safe process. Don't worry about it.
That's nasty.
With grafts, you can harness the power of the breach. Some provide passive benefits like this, or this,
Oh.
but they can also grant a wide
It's like a
selection of
relic.
powerful skills. These graft skills can provide a flexible way to fill gaps in your build, offering everything from damage to potent defensive buffs and crowd control. For example, the Battering All graft will call massive arms to erupt from the earth,
10,000 added
stunning
attack
all
physical
those they hit.
damage.
For some additional
Jesus.
pack clearing power, you could consider the Squalling Tool Graft. When commanded, this graft will cast Dance in the White, creating a deadly ice tornado which aggressively seeks enemies and fires off bursts of ricocheting projectiles when you critically strike with
God
skills.
damn.
For some further utility and a useful buff, try out the Storming Ash Graft. This can be commanded to call down a ring of bolts from the sky that will leave behind the new radiant ground. Radiant Ground
Radiant
grants
Ground.
a potent damage buff to allies standing within it and makes their hit damage lucky.
Oh, pretty nice.
If you're simply after raw damage, look no further than the Erupting Zoftgraft, which causes massive eruptions of fire where you command,
Damn.
which then re-erupt when you Warcry.
Of course.
There are a total of 16 different graft types you can grow,
pretty
each
nice.
with their own skill.
It's pretty nice.
You can even
It's a new
unlock
skill,
a second
basically.
graft slot as you progress through Aelith's questline.
Ooh.
So feel free to mix
That's
and match
crazy,
Flesh Zone
though.
horrors to your heart's content. Now,
Damn, that's
grafts
crazy,
aren't just
though.
here to make you stronger.
You're strong and
They
then you
are
get
also
stronger.
your means of feeding the Genesis
And
tree,
stronger.
which needs constant supplies of graft blood to grow anything useful. You can do this by defeating breach monsters, which will leave behind blood that your graft will automatically collect. When you feed this blood to the tree, your allocated passives will be put to work. This section
Oh,
of the
nice.
Genesis
So
tree can be
it's-
used to grow new grafts for you,
That's pretty cool.
which
So
the
instead of
Genesis
having
tree
like
will then birth in
one
a
skill
gruesome
point
display.
at a time, you're like, you know, you can do it as you collect stuff. That's
Basic
pretty cool. I like
passives on the
that.
tree might increase item rarity of birthed grafts,
Jesus.
or the chance to birth additional grafts.
Warm gifts. That's nice.
These passives can target specific types of grafts, and this passive causes grafts to be birthed with a random amount of quality. Quality improves the amount of blood that can be stored by your grafts. This section of the Genesis tree births currency items. Basic passives can result in more or better currency. Allocate this passive to sometimes cause a shower of currency to burst forth from the flesh of the tree. Yeah, it's a bit gross, but working with the organic matter of a bunch of dead otherworldly creatures
Unstable
was
implants.
never going to
What
be a
is
clean
that?
affair. Grafts themselves are born of a different world, so are unmodifiable by most currencies. However,
Except-
with this passive, the Genesis tree can occasionally grow fleshy mockeries of currency orbs. These function
Ew.
like
Why is
augmentation
everything
orbs,
so disgusting?
regal orbs, or exalted orbs,
Work
but they
on the
work on your
graft,
grafts
yeah.
instead of normal gear. Yep, it's graft crafting.
You're gonna
Allocating
sound-
this passive can result in foul-born currencies. This foul-born exalted
Even the way it's
orb, for
added to
instance,
your
behaves
UI,
as a
it's
normal
nasty.
exalted orb, except it guarantees a higher tier modifier. By locking out a large portion of the lower rolls, a normal exalted orb would be able to hit. The largest section of the Genesis tree is used to grow rare equipment items. For these, you have a lot of agency to influence the type and modifiers on your grown item. For example,
The
you can
percentages
specifically
are crazy.
target
5,000?
with a dexterity requirement, with an increased chance for speed modifiers, and reduced chance for cold modifiers.
Some more crafting.
Or maybe you'd prefer to look for a two-handed axe, with increased chance for physical modifiers. This section of the tree is for growing unique items. Similar to the equipment section, there are passives that let you target growing specific types of uniques, or rarer uniques. The process of growth is not always a perfect one, however, and can result in some defects.
You don't say.
This passive can result in birth uniques becoming foul-born,
What is that?
which mutates one of the existing modifiers on the item into a new one,
Oh, okay. It's gonna
resulting
get
in some interesting new
crazy
ways
shit,
to use
right?
that unique.
Yeah, you're gonna
For
get some
example,
crazy stuff.
this foul-born quill rain no longer has increased projectile speed, but instead has increased area of effect.
50%. Massive.
Another foul-born quill rain could replace the mana gained on hit with the much more powerful modifier where insufficient mana doesn't prevent your bow attacks.
So infinite mana.
Here are some other examples.
63% chaos resistance. Damn!
This passive even gives a rare chance for foul-born uniques to have multiple different modifiers mutated.
Oh no.
I'm sure you'll come up with some
Some of
extremely
these
powerful uses
items,
for
some
these.
of these items will be like mirror tier, you know?
We'll leave it up to you to discover what this mysterious part of the Genesis tree can grow.
New items?
So, ultimately, you'll be slaying masses of breach monsters, harvesting blood with the aid of your grafts,
This is just a
feeding
minion
back to the
build.
Genesis tree, growing
I
some
haven't seen it
items
before, but
and
they're very
better grafts,
fast. Jeez.
and back again to the slaughter. As with all our challenge leagues, this league will come with a set of 40 challenges to pursue,
Yeah.
and completing them will award you with the Keeper of the Flame armor set,
It looks nice,
allowing
though.
you to truly embrace becoming a monk and worshipping the Dreamer.
Looks great.
Now, Graph skills won't be the only new tools to play with.
Of course.
In 327, we're also adding a collection of new skill and support gems. Let's go over them now. Kinetic Rain is a new wand attack, which covers the ground in unstable kinetic energy. These hazards collapse at the slightest touch, releasing their energies into any unfortunate soul who happens to be standing on them. With enough projectiles and area of effect, an enterprising exile could carpet the world in dangerous kinetic force.
Path of Exile 1,
Wall
man.
of Force creates a barrier of kinetic power.
Oh yeah, the Maven.
Causing allied projectiles to ricochet towards targets automatically. Drop one behind a boss and redirect the bolts of your armies. I'm sure you'll find ways to break this one.
Crazy damage though.
Conflagration is a new bow attack, which rains down fiery bolts
so
from
much
above
AoE.
that stick into the ground and
Crazy.
pulse as you approach.
And it covers like the whole screen.
Once you get close enough,
Again, Path of
these
Exile 1
bolts
is more
detonate,
zoomed in, right?
causing ravaging ignites.
It feels like it anyways.
These bolts chain react,
So you're
allowing
covering
you to
the whole
create
screen,
fields of
basically.
incendiary destruction. Thunderstorm is a bow attack, which creates a whirling storm of
Check
wind
out
and
the
lightning where it
speed,
lands.
man. Wow.
While you're within the storm, it will rapidly grow until it becomes violently thunderous with lightning-infused
I
clouds.
mean, you're clearing maps in like
At
seconds.
this point, leaving the storm will cause it to detonate, dealing damage to everything within and releasing a flurry of tornadoes in all directions.
That's crazy though. Oh yeah, the labyrinth.
Attacking with kinetic fusillade will create hovering orbs of energy. These linger for a few moments above you before zipping off to
I
nearby
like this
targets.
one. Again, you're
chaining
not
between
interacting
them,
with your
then
skills.
detonating.
You're not targeting anything, you're just...
Living lightning support will bring
Going
to
around and
life
killing
living
stuff.
sparks of energy. Elemental minions that zap through packs of enemies with speed and ease. Use these alongside your spellcasting to
I don't see
augment
the
your
damage,
pack-clearing
but
abilities,
compared to the other
or
ones.
find whatever means possible to cover the world in living sparks of ruin.
Okay, there's the damage.
Windburst support unleashes chaotic
This
tornadoes
guy's
as you
so
attack,
fast.
which ricochet around wildly and
You
quickly.
can't even see where you're going.
These deal moderate damage as they travel, but will explode into
Again,
a
Path of
highly
Exile
damaging
1,
burst
this
when
is
they
normal.
expire. So it's a choice between scaling their duration up to get better coverage, or down
Oh
to
my god,
access
so
the
much
burst more
damage.
quickly.
Holy crap. This guy's like...
Kinetic instability
Endgame
is a
build.
support gem to go along with the new wand attacks that causes enemies slain to leave behind
I
those
remember this
same
skill.
orbs of shimmering energy that kinetic rain creates. One might ponder just how many orbs you can create if you were to use both. In 327,
Enough.
exiles will
That's
be able
how
to
many.
absorb the power of some of the bosses they defeat.
Yeah.
These take the form of new Ascendancy class options, called Bloodlines.
Okay.
Bloodline classes are a new means of character customization in the endgame. They are secondary Ascendancy classes that are unlocked by defeating specific endgame
Secondary
bosses.
Ascendancy classes.
They are allocated with your normal Ascendancy points,
Yeah.
and you'll have to choose how many of your points go into the original Ascendancy and how many into your Bloodline class.
Ooh, crazy mix-ups,
This
huh?
means there is a nigh limitless ability to mix and match here,
Yeah.
as you could choose to invest just a couple points into your Bloodline, or max it out. And you could take any Bloodline with any base Ascendancy class that you see fit. To unlock your Bloodline, hunt down the endgame boss whose power you desire, and defeat them. Or have a friend help, and claim the power for your own. There are 10 Bloodline classes to discover. Bosses who offer this power are
Expedition.
typically associated with past leagues, giving additional reasons to engage with that league content. Let's run over a few examples.
Syndicate, right?
The Chaos Bloodline
Wait,
will
no,
be
that guy
offered
was
to you by the
Expedition.
Trial Master, if you manage to succeed his final challenge.
I never fought this guy, to
With
be
his
honest,
blessing,
ever.
you can greatly augment
I'm
your Val skills in different
Not
ways.
really doing much of Ultimatum, to be honest.
Priest
Not
of
the biggest fan.
Yalmak lets you use Val skills much more often, while Priest of Kopek makes it harder to build up Val skills, but makes them far more powerful.
Plus one
Or
use.
take Corruption's Embrace, which grants more Val Keystone powers the more corrupted items you have equipped. The Ashabi bloodline can be
Again,
gained by,
endgame.
you guessed it, defeating Ashabi. Her abilities are drawn from the 3 types of life force that manifest within as Marian spirits. The Wild Bear rewards you with adrenaline for generating
Maximum
rage.
rage.
The Vivid Cat gives your elusive buffs a chance to refresh, as well as making you more stealthy while elusive.
What's stealthy?
The Primal Owl allows your unleashed spells to reoccur many additional times,
Oh, that's super
and
nice.
get stronger for each time they reoccur.
It's nice.
The nameless bloodline comes from the King in the Mists. Be
Show me
forewarned,
Delirium, I'm so
his
curious.
menacing power comes at a great cost. With the Unseen Hand, you can equip
Wow.
a third ring.
Here we
But
go.
you'll have to decide if that comes at the expense of having no amulet, no belt,
Oh.
or no flasks. Unlight Silhouette adds a hefty life cost to all your spells.
But then again, Path of Exile 1
But
flasks
they
are
deal additional
massive.
chaos damage based on the amount of life spent. Of course, there is more to come. What powers might you glean from delving deep underneath
I wanna
Rayclass
see,
to fight
Delirium,
all
to be
the
honest.
Crystal King? What secrets can you learn from Lycia, Herald of the Scourge, waiting at the end of the Forbidden Sanctum? As you can imagine, there are
Oh my god,
countless
I miss
possible combinations
Cyclone
with the
so
system.
much.
You could be a Slayer that embraces corruption and vile power, or perhaps you'll play an occultist that doubles down on their dark power by integrating the Nameless bloodline. We are excited to see what crazy and interesting builds players come up with.
It's a lot of shield, I can tell.
In the most recent Path of Exile 2 expansion,
Yeah.
the Third Edict,
Yeah.
we introduced a much anticipated feature.
Yeah, the trading.
Fully asynchronous trade. It was a
Great idea, by the way.
fantastic success.
It
So now
is.
we're excited to announce that we'll
So
also
good.
be adding this feature into Path of Exile 1.
When you reach Act 6, you'll be able to find Faustus in Lion Eye's Watch. Previously, he just operated the currency exchange. Now, he will also act as a steward for your merchants tabs.
Yep.
These are where you can place items for sale, for
Starforge?
direct
What was it called?
and instant purchase by other players,
Yeah.
even when you're not online.
I played a league with it, I still remember.
To list an item, simply place it in the tab and select a currency and an amount.
I'll let you know.
Once listed, other players will be able to find the item by searching for it via the trade website or the new in-game market search.
Only 20 divines?
To
Damn.
purchase something for yourself, it's as easy as hitting this button, which will teleport you to the seller's hideout,
Yep.
where you can view their merchants tabs, buy the item, and also view the
It's
rest
no
of their
auction
wares
house.
in
I did
case
say
something
this
else
last
catches your
time,
eye.
but it's alright, it's pretty good.
Every purchase costs a small fee of gold, as Faustus takes his cut. To account for this further drain on gold,
The gems.
acquisition and cost balance elsewhere in the game has been adjusted. Anything you've managed to sell successfully will have your profits collected here,
Yep,
in a separate tab to claim at your leisure.
you're rich. Well,
To be clear,
a
previous
start.
means of trading, such as via pre-existing premium stash tabs and the website, will still function just as before.
never use trade ever.
Merchants tabs and the asynchronous trading that comes with them are an entirely additive feature on top of the already existing
Orbs for
methods
orbs.
to trade.
Good job.
You might
Please.
find yourself needing the trade system to buy some upgrades, because
Yeah.
this update
what
also
you got.
introduces 3 new Uber Pinnacle boss fights.
Mm-hmm.
These encounters are manifested from the memories of Zana, and in her long torment, they have festered into something truly deadly. These fights offer an imposing challenge, alongside powerful rewards.
But we
In
saw this in
order
the
to
last,
gain access, similar to existing Uber
trailer,
Pinnacle
no?
fights, you'll need to discover fragments dropped by Tier 17 map bosses.
right?
Each attempt at the new Uber Pinnacle fights will require 5 of these. Let's dig into some of the challenges you'll need to face in these new Uber versions.
Shows what you got.
In the original incarnation of Neglect fight, the statues can be used to block the laser beams to hide behind, giving
I
you an opportunity to avoid being
never
shot,
fought this boss.
frozen, or killed. When you run near these statues, they activate and allow you to reposition them.
Right.
While activated, they will not stop the lasers, meaning you want to position them well, then avoid them. However, in the Uber version of this
Yeah.
fight, instead of being a safe haven, the statues will refract the laser beams, causing a ruckus of energy to cover the arena.
Gotcha.
Activating them will prevent the refraction. So unlike the base fight, where you want to position them well and then avoid them, you'll be wanting to
Jesus,
constantly keep these
the
statues
damage.
active. But then you have to deal with their assault of attacks. While fighting the incarnation of fear, these fiery orbs will slowly clutter up the arena, locking off portions of it until you bait the boss into detonating them himself with his thrown spear. When Uberified, these orbs are attached by a flaming leash to the boss, rotating around him constantly.
Right.
More and more will spawn as the fight goes on, making
If you
it
had good
even more
regen, it looks
imperative that
okay,
you clean
but
them up by cleverly
otherwise...
using the boss's abilities against him.
Yikes.
Normally in the Incarnation of Dread fight, during
Yeah, I
the
didn't
bullet
play
hell
these
phase,
bosses.
you have to
This
acquire
was
a
the
red
past
rose, run it to the boss, then collect a blue
Right.
rose, doing the same, causing it to get heavy stunned and interrupting its mechanic. In the Uber version, you have to do the same, but in order to get the blue rose, you have to
stuff.
defeat the Incarnation of Neglect.
Shit.
And to get the red rose, you
Yeah.
have to defeat the Incarnation of Fear.
So you're not just walking there,
Good
you're gonna
luck.
kill them. Good luck. See
Given the
that?
difficulty of these bosses, their reward should be worth your while.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at some.
sure. Here we go.
From the Uber Incarnation of Neglect fight, we have Bitter Instinct, a spiky shield that turns retaliatory strikes into preemptive ones,
I don't know what that is.
making
I've
it
never used
just a
them.
matter of time before the long arm
But it
of
sounds
justice
OP.
crushes your foes.
Yeah.
Alternatively, you might find Festering Resentment, a poisoned blade with an unending supply of toxins built into the hilt. These toxins are put to good use, causing
Cyclone
every
again.
spell you trigger to be capable of poisoning with all damage it deals.
Wow.
Enabling a truly crazy trigger-centric poison ruckus.
Jeez.
And
This
from
sounds
the
fun.
Uber Incarnation of Dread, the Hallowed Monarch, a counterpart to the Dark Monarch,
Link
which
skills
focuses
can...
more heavily on investing
can
into
target
one
dodgeable
or a
minions.
few minions, rather than growing your hordes to massive proportions.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Storm Rayclast, with your chosen few at your
Ooh,
side,
and
stealing
the,
power from your enemies as you go.
Your minions get Headhunter as well.
We've got a
Nice.
number of quality of life changes to bring
Pretty
to
cool.
327 as well. Many of which you may have seen already in some of our pre-livestream teasers,
I
but
didn't.
for those who haven't, Heist is a mechanic which has long frustrated some players who may otherwise have been interested in the rewards it
Was
has
good
to offer,
times. Was
but
good
have no
times.
desire to grind through the early progress of finding and running low-level contracts
you have to,
get
yeah.
all of the rogues to
Yep.
their maximum level.
Yep.
Well, starting in 327, Heist rogues will automatically begin at maximum level, so you can start your
Oh.
dubious criminal career
Okay.
without all the busy work.
That's nice.
Points
also fun
invested
to
into
level
your
them up,
Atlas
but
passive tree
Yeah,
will
it's-
now be
it's-
refundable with
You're wasting
gold.
time.
Just speak to Kerak to do so.
Cool.
For players who love jumping between strategies, there's also an option to instantly refund your entire tree, which of course can now also be done with your regular passive tree as well. Now
Mm-hmm.
you can make all your decisions with no regrets. Well, maybe some regrets. You no longer need to
Yeah,
purchase
you need
bestiary
the
orbs.
skills.
You can now itemize beasts for free
stats,
directly
sorry.
from your bestiary. From
Okay.
late Act 1, you can now mass identify your items at an NPC
Nice.
in every town,
That's good.
and from Helena in your hideout. This does not require Scrolls of Wisdom at all.
That's good. Yeah.
While using an Alteration Orb, you can now hold
Word
Alt
gradient
to
too,
swap to
so-
using an Augmentation Orb, if one is available.
Cool.
Opening a Blight Chest will now open all other Blight Chests near it.
That's such a good idea.
Rogue's disenchanting services can now be accessed from towns and hideouts.
Cool.
Kerak missions
Very good.
now have a handy icon to show at a glance what kind of mission they are.
Nice. That's a good idea.
Holding down Control and right-clicking on stacked decks will now continuously
Oh my
open them to your
God.
inventory,
Finally.
notifying you in chat what the outcome is. If you still want to open them direct to the
Nice.
ground, to let your loot filter provide a dose of dopamine, you can still do that too by also holding Shift.
I've never done that. That's interesting as well.
Val orbs can be used on monsters encased in essences, to the same effect that
We need
remnants of
cards in
corruption
Path of
have.
Exile too, that's for sure. Nice.
When multiple skill gems are ready to level at the same time, you'll now be able to click
Oh,
this button
nice.
to level them all up at once.
Minor but useful, you know? It's perfect.
Next up, we're going to be talking about our new League supporter packs.
Yep.
Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs.
So what you got?
The Champion of Theopolis and the Verdant Magus packs.
Some sort of a mage.
Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or
I don't know.
progression in
That looks a
any
bit
way.
weird.
The Champion of Theopolis
half a
series of
bull.
supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. Manifest a Champion's Ferocity, as the Lion's Might unique finisher effect rips your enemies to shreds.
Cool.
Open the
nice.
Champion of Theopolis portal to end your crusade through maps in the style expected of a true victor of the arena.
Looks alright.
Defeat your enemies like a true gladiator, wearing the Grand Champion of Theopolis armor set. The armor awarded only to the most elite warriors of the Grand Arena.
With the biggest credit cards.
Take charge of the situation
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of
and
this
storm
one.
into combat with the Flaming Minotaur's Quicksilver Flask effect.
Oh, Minotaur. Okay.
The Champion's Podium map device
So it's not a
rises
ball.
up to honor the glory you've achieved as you activate it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Ascend the stairs and stand atop the platform as you enter your maps. Each flame surrounding the platform represents a remaining use on your portal.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
The burden-back billy goat carries all the supplies necessary for a campsite as he travels behind you in battle. When placed in a hideout,
pet.
instead of roaming around like your other pets, their supplies are deployed, creating a
Nice.
small camp where you can access your stash and
It's
providing
chilling
a
there.
place to take a load off
Yeah.
while you rest next to the campfire.
It's very nice.
The Verdant Magus series contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
It looks poisonous. Yep, it is.
Having Faustus sell your items on your behalf is great and all, but sometimes you just want to feel a little bit more shady
Back
about your
alley
dealings.
trader? That's pretty nice.
The back alley trader hideout decoration is more secretive with your trades,
Oh, that's
creating
nice.
distance between you and
That's
your
cool.
customers.
Note that until 327 is released, this back alley trader will only serve as your currency exchange. Once it's out, it will be updated to have the new managed shop
Closing the
option
door, you
to
know?
also facilitate your trades.
Got you. It looks cool though. I
The
like that.
Verdant Wayfinder pet is a loyal companion to any Master
Yeah, it
Magus.
looks okay. Basic.
As you approach waypoints, it envelops them with its vines,
Okay,
guiding
that's
you throughout
different.
Rayclast.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Control Earth and nature itself, as the Great Verdant Magus armor set envelops you in the ancient power now lost to
Some
time.
sort of a hat, but
There's
broken
also a
apart.
matching back attachment included.
Yep.
Remnants of the forest ripple out from within you with the Verdant Magus
Very
level
purple,
up effect
yeah.
equipped, restoring life to the corrupted land. Call on an ancient golem to use their power to create a safe passage for you to retreat through with the Arcane Golem portal.
Cool.
As a Supreme Verdant Magus, you can travel to your Arcane Isle hideout.
Jesus.
A cluster of
Thing is
islands
massive.
held together by ancient magic
Whoa.
passed down between elite mages.
That's crazy though. What happened?
Stand atop your tower and relish the great heights you've reached above those who have not harnessed the arcane. These packs are now available for purchase on both PC and console and will remain so during Path of Exile, Keepers of the Flame. Additionally, any
like the door.
microtransactions from these supporter
This is
packs
funny.
will be made available for use in Path of Exile 2.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Crypt Keeper and Frisian Magistrate packs leave the store forever at the launch of the Keepers of the Flame League.
Cool portals.
So now's your last chance to purchase them. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
All right, well, that's about it. Okay, a couple of things I wrote here. So I'm looking at this, and this looks absolutely amazing. The gameplay looks, again, I haven't played Path of Exile 1 since Path of Exile 2 came out, and the gameplay looks very fast. It's very, very, very fast. When you have like sped up Archer there, just like going around one-shotting everything, that is the Path of Exile 1 experience, right? So it looks good. The UI looks clean. I know they've done like some updates to it. It looks pretty cool. Again, I feel like the camera is more zoomed in the first game than the second one. And again, you're moving much faster, much everything, right? My question is, again, they're both like great games. I played Path of Exile 1 since Breach, right? And then Path of Exile 2 came out and I said I only have time for one. So I played the second one, right? I really only have time for one and the patience to only play one, right? Because after a while it gets boring, right? With each new league. But it's like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, damn, this looks good, man. If I had more time or I'd be like a lot more interested, I'll be playing both, and I'm sure people are, right? Because it's a whole different type of gameplay. But then the question is, and I really miss Cyclone. I was looking at Cyclone. I'm a huge Cyclone fan. I played Cyclone in multiple leagues. I'm a huge, huge fan. When I see it, like the way it moves, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm there, you know? So the question is it like really a good idea to have GGG focus on 2 games at once, which are kind of like the same game, or just combine them into one? Because I'm looking at Breach 2.0, and again, huge fan of Breach. It was my first league. Like, are we gonna get Breach 2.0 in Path of Exile 2? I hope so, because it looks a lot more interesting than the first, than what we currently have, right? Which is just the circle. Now you have like multiple objectives, right? I hope we're gonna get in the second game, but then what's the point of having the second game? Or what's the point of having the first game? Just instead of having 2 different games, what if like all this new stuff was released for one single game every like 2 months instead of 4? But then maybe it'll be like too much, right? Or like, for example, instead of having a league come out in 4 months, you have 2 leagues come out at the same time, right? Something like that, or something crazy. Again, I'm wondering if it's not too much to have 2 games at the same time. And again, if this were in GGG and you had like, some company that releases like a small update every like couple of months, then you can say, okay, I can play both and it's not a problem, I'm not missing anything. But GGG releases content like crazy, right? Like crazy. So who has time for both games, is what I'm saying? Or unless it's somebody like me where they only play the first game, other people only play the second game. Again, I'm guessing the fact that they keep releasing updates, that means, the system works. That means they're making money off of both games, even though they're kind of like the same games. So that's what, like, I don't get. It's very strange. I haven't seen another game ever do something like this where the main game and the sequel are very similar, yet they both run at the same time. I mean, I'm sure they are. They're probably like MMOs and stuff, right? But it's strange, right? I mean, you can say, Diablo 4, Diablo 3, have them both at the same time. But now with the amount of players, and again, now with the amount of work they're putting into these games, yeah, Diablo 4 is getting updates. Diablo 3 isn't. Are people still playing Diablo 3? Of course. Is it getting any updates? It hasn't gotten an update in like 10 years. So it's like, it's so strange. Again, my question is it better to focus on one game or have them both run at the same time? I'm kind of wondering, like, productivity-wise, I don't know. But yeah, this looks absolutely amazing. Beyond that, so yeah, Breach 2.0 looks great. I hope we're getting this into Path of Exile 2. And that is the question, so far, like, stuff that's in Path of Exile 2 gets transferred to Path of Exile 1. But could the reverse be true? And I guess we'll see in the next Path of Exile 2 trailer, maybe they're going to announce Breach 2.0 in there as well, which they could probably do from the looks of it. Again, it looks very similar, right? Besides that, what else? You got like, you got a new skill tree. I love skill trees. Again, I know the memes, but again, the more you get, the better. And what I like about the skill tree a lot, actually. Let me see if I can find a screenshot of it. This, I can't really, it doesn't really tell me here. Anyways, they showed how, like, come on, give me a picture. No, they don't want to give me a picture. It showed the way they were like upgrading the skill tree. I like that a lot. There was like a little icon here at the bottom, like the blood, right? Like, it's not like you defeat a boss and then you get a skill point and you get a new skill point. You're collecting graft blood, which is pretty cool. So like it makes you want to do more maps, right? It's like, oh, like I need like 4,000 more, like getting 250 per map. It's like 8 maps. Like, let's keep going, keep going, keep going. You're working towards a goal, right? Instead of like just having everything from in one shot, right? Like, oh, you killed the boss, here's a new skill point, put it in, cool. But it's much different, like, doing multiple maps. It pushes you to do maps because you're working towards something. This is such a good idea. I feel like this should be present in a lot of the other systems in Path of Exile, 2 at least, because this is really cool. This is like, again, you got something to do. You're constantly working onto something, That's very nice. The league itself, again, getting like 2 extra arms, 2 extra skills. That sounds absolutely amazing. The new skill trees looks amazing. Again, I hope this will be something that we're gonna get in Path of Exile 2. The whole thing, the whole thing. It's disgusting and it's amazing at the same time. You got the new skills and supports, of course. Again, everything looks super sped up. Bloodline classes are interesting. I'm sure some of these classes will be something like you get 3 points into your regular class, but you definitely want this, and this will be like your 4th point, or the other way around, or 2 and 2. People are gonna have a blast, theory crafting this. It's gonna be insane. Trade is back in Path of Exile 1. Absolutely amazing. New Uber boss fights, more skill challenges. Quality of life, absolutely amazing. A lot of cool changes in here. I do want cards in Path of Exile too. Again, that's what I was saying before when it comes to like working towards something. They're minor, but you're kind of like always hoping you're gonna get something good out of it, you know? It's like an extra boost for you to like do something on the maps and whatnot. Supporter packs look cool, as always. There's a lot of stuff, man. Again, it's crazy how much work they're putting into this game. I really thought, and I really thought, and this was my opinion back then, and it still is, once Path of Exile 2 came out, you abandon Path of Exile 1 and you focus all the work on Path of Exile 2. I was obviously wrong. They keep working on Path of Exile 1. I guess they have the people for it. They have the again and again. I guess they're both games are turning in a profit. So why stop? You know, just why put all your eggs in one basket? Path of Exile 2 is still like in early access. The Path of Exile 1 is still getting like again. This game is not getting support. They're building new stuff for this game. Like it's crazy. I don't get it. Oh yeah, these things, the tinctures. Haven't seen those in a while. So yeah, it looks amazing. As always, GGG overdo themselves. Probably the best company, video game company currently to provide content, free content to people. It's absolutely insane. I wish them all the best. I hope this league does good. It looks very fun, and I hope we're gonna get this into Path of Exile too. Thank you for watching. Peace.